Today, I'm finally going to be opening up about the psychological and domestic abuse, stalking and harassment, sexual assault, and threats of blackmail that Mizkif has done towards me.
October 25th, 2025. One of the most popular female streamers on Twitch goes live, not to play a game, not to react to content, but to expose the man she once lived with, the man she once loved. Matthew Ronaldo, better known as Mizkif, co-founder of One True King, one of the biggest streaming organizations in the world. Over 2 million Twitch followers, hundreds of millions of views. A man who survived one of the biggest scandals in streaming history just 3 years earlier. And now his ex-girlfriend was about to tell the world what happened behind closed doors.
He tried to climb on top of me and aggressively shoved his hand down my pants. And, I screamed. Yeah.
Within hours, Mizkif would respond with his own stream. Within days, he would be removed from the company he helped build. Within weeks, he would file a defamation lawsuit seeking millions in damages. This is the story of how allegations of abuse tore apart one of Twitch's most powerful organizations. How two streamers who once lived together became locked in a legal battle that could define accountability in the creator economy. And how the streaming community watched it all unfold in real time. To understand how we got here, we need to go back to 2016. Matthew Ronaldo was a 21-year-old from New Jersey who started streaming on Twitch. He went by the name Mizkif, and like thousands of other aspiring content creators, he was grinding for views. But Mizkif had something different, a relentless work ethic, an understanding of what made content go viral, and a willingness to push boundaries that sometimes got him in trouble. By 2019, he had built a significant following. He was known for his just chatting streams, his gaming content, and his willingness to be transparently chaotic on camera. That same year, he was hospitalized for psychiatric issues. He spoke openly about his mental health struggles. It was the kind of vulnerability that made viewers feel connected to him. In October 2020, Mizkif and several other popular streamers launched One True King, or OTK. The founding members included Asmongold, one of the biggest World of Warcraft streamers on the platform, along with Sven TV, Tips Out, and others. OTK wasn't just a streaming organization, it was a media company. They hosted live events, they created content together, they built something that felt like a family, and the Austin, Texas streaming scene became the center of it all. Mizkif's personal life was also evolving. He began dating Maya Higa, another popular streamer and conservation advocate. Their relationship was public. Their fans shipped them. They lived together in Austin with Mizkif's roommate and close friend, a streamer named Crazy Slick. Everything seemed to be going perfectly. But beneath the surface, something was about to crack. September 2022. What started as a Twitter argument between Mizkif and gambling streamer Trainwreck would explode into one of the biggest controversies in Twitch history. During their public feud, Trainwreck dropped a bombshell. He accused Mizkif of covering up a sexual assault. The alleged assault had occurred at a party in 2020. The victim was a smaller streamer named Adriana Lee. The accused perpetrator was Crazy Slick, Mizkif's roommate and close friend. Adriana Lee had actually spoken about this before, in a TwitLonger post in June 2021. But now she came forward with more details. She claimed that Crazy Slick had touched her chest multiple times while she was unconscious at a party, allegedly under the guise of checking her pulse. And she alleged that Mizkif and Maya Higa had pressured her to downplay the incident to protect Crazy Slick's reputation.
He touched my chest multiple times, touched my chest area multiple times when he was asked to stop. Multiple times. He kept insisting multiple times to do that. Whether that's harassment or assault, that's up to you. I guess it's up to me. It's something that makes me fucking uncomfortable. it's something that's fucked up.
The streaming community erupted. OTK immediately placed Mizkif on leave and commissioned a third-party investigation. Crazy Slick was asked to vacate the house. Maya Higa acknowledged the unequal power dynamic between herself and Adriana. Mizkif posted a twit longer apologizing and clarifying that Crazy Slick had, in fact, sexually assaulted Adriana Lee. The investigation conducted by law firm Jackson Walker concluded in December 2022. They're finding no direct evidence that Mizkif had attempted to cover up or minimize the sexual assault. Mizkif was reinstated to OTK. But there was a catch. During his return stream in October 2022, he was criticized for showing a lack of empathy. OTK removed him from the board of directors as a result. Adriana Lee filed a defamation lawsuit against Mizkif, Maya Higa, Crazy Slick, and OTK in March 2023, seeking over $2 million in damages. In January 2025, Mizkif announced that the court had thrown out the allegations against him. The case was dismissed due to insufficient evidence. Adriana Lee was ordered to pay approximately $50,000 in legal fees. For Mizkif, it seemed like vindication. He spoke about the trauma of the accusations. He blamed other content creators, including Ludwig, for making videos that he claimed contributed to his suicidal thoughts. But even as one legal battle ended, another was quietly beginning. Emily Shunk, better known as Emiru, was already a rising star in the streaming world when she joined OTK in 2022. She had built her audience through cosplay content and League of Legends streams. She was talented, photogenic, and had cultivated a loyal fan base. By 2023, she had become a co-owner of OTK. What the public didn't know was that she and Mizkif had become more than just colleagues. Mizkif had previously dated Maya Higa. After their breakup, he briefly dated another streamer named Mia. And then sometime in 2022, he and Emiru began a romantic relationship. They lived together in Austin, Texas. They were around each other constantly. For the public, it was never explicitly confirmed, but the signs were there. They streamed together. They appeared in each other's content. They shared a life. According to Emiru's later allegations, this is when the problems began. She would later claim that Mizkif was controlling, that he told her how to dress, that he didn't want her to travel without him, that he tried to dictate who she could spend time with. In his own response stream, Mizkif would admit to some of this.
In regards to being controlling, I told her many things. I told her to dress older, to stop wearing pajamas, to stop talking about stalkers and schizos as a whole, stop talking about past relationships, and yes, I didn't want her to travel without me.
He would frame this as concern for her safety, given her history of dealing with obsessive stalkers.
I didn't want Emmy to get assaulted. I didn't want some man to do something to her when I'm not there, and I wanted to keep her safe.
But the relationship deteriorated. According to Mizkif, the last 9 months became toxic. He claims he asked her to move out because he wanted space, but she still wanted him around constantly. He describes getting upset when they weren't together. He also made a striking admission.
I'm ashamed that the situations got so bad, but Emmy was also violent. She would throw clothes or plushies at me, and I punched holes in the walls or slammed doors in aggression.
By early 2025, the relationship was over, but the fallout was just beginning. October 2025, TwitchCon San Diego. The annual convention brings together thousands of streamers and fans. For Emiru, it would become a nightmare. During a meet and greet event, a man crossed multiple security barriers and forcibly tried to kiss her. The incident left her shaken. She criticized Twitch's security response, saying the man was initially only going to receive a 30-day suspension before she objected. Twitch CEO Dan Clancy issued a public apology, admitting the platform had failed her. But there was another incident at TwitchCon that wouldn't become public for another week. According to court documents filed later, Mizkif allegedly approached one of Emiru's employees at TwitchCon. The alleged message: if Emiru ever talked about him publicly, he would destroy her. OTK's termination letter to Mizkif, dated October 24, 2025, specifically referenced this incident. As recently as Saturday, October 18, 2025, at TwitchCon in San Diego, California, you made threatening remarks directed at Emily Shunk, even after learning that she was the victim of a sexually motivated assault during a meet and greet. The letter continued. Upon learning of the potential allegations, you threatened personal and professional harm to Emiru in an effort to silence her from publicizing her allegations against you. For Emiru, the combination of the public assault and the private threats pushed her to a breaking point. She had spent months trying to distance herself from Mizkif, but she couldn't stay silent anymore. October 25th, 2025. Emiru goes live on Twitch. Tens of thousands of viewers tune in. What follows is an hour of detailed allegations that would send shockwaves through the streaming community.
For the entirety of this year, I've attempted to separate myself from him and not talk about him at all, and not talk about this issue and just not make it a public thing.
She explained that she felt compelled to speak after learning that Mizkif had allegedly committed similar actions with other people in Los Angeles.
And because of this, I cannot in good conscience sit here knowing that I know critical information about someone that almost no one else does and not say anything.
The allegations were severe. Emiru described an incident where Mizkif allegedly tried to comfort her while she was crying on the couch. What started as him holding her while she sobbed turned into something else.
And he started kissing me in my face, and I let him do it. I was still sobbing a lot. And then, suddenly, he tried to climb on top of me and aggressively shoved his hand down my pants. And, I screamed. And when I screamed, he said, "I feel weird now. I feel like I did something wrong. I have to go." And he immediately left my house while I was still crying.
Emiru also alleged ongoing harassment after their breakup. She described times when she would lock herself in her streaming room while Mizkif allegedly banged on the door and screamed at her. She showed screenshots of messages allegedly from Mizkif, repeatedly asking her to speak with him and to resume their relationship even after she had cut off contact. But perhaps the most disturbing allegation involved threats of blackmail.
I was told that he even approached other streamers who were close with us back when we lived together, asking them if they would join with him, and they all refused.
According to Emiru, Mizkif's alleged plan was to claim that she killed her own pet rabbits, which had died of natural causes over the course of 3 years while they lived together.
Multiple people have told me that his plan was to claim that I kill animals and that I killed my own rabbits.
She announced that she was in the process of filing restraining orders against Mizkif in both California and Texas. The stream ended. The internet exploded. Hours later, Mizkif went live. For 40 minutes, he presented his version of events. He denied many of the allegations while admitting to others.
I know I wasn't perfect with my language or tone throughout this entire relationship. I know I wasn't. And I was aggressive at times.
He described the relationship as deeply toxic and claimed that the abuse was mutual.
Emmy was also violent. She would throw clothes or plushies at me, and I punched holes in the walls or slammed doors in aggression.
He acknowledged being controlling, but framed it as concern for her safety. Regarding the alleged sexual assault, Mizkif described a different version of events. He claimed that 1 month after their breakup, they had gotten back together, that they had cuddled for 30 minutes and started to kiss. He did not directly address the specific allegation that he had aggressively shoved his hand down her pants. He also addressed the rabbit allegations. In what many viewers saw as a confirmation of Emiru's claims about blackmail threats, Mizkif alleged that Emiru had left her rabbits outside in 100-degree heat. The streaming community was divided, but many felt that his response only validated some of Emiru's claims.
And I know with how my mental was and who I was back then that I didn't do everything right. I know I could have done better, and I'm sorry. I know I was controlling and I should have just ended the fucking relationship, but I was so confused as a person. And I'm sorry I did it. I'm sorry things got to this fucking point, man.
But apologies weren't enough to stop what came next. The response was swift and devastating. OTK, the organization Mizkif had co-founded, issued a statement on October 27th. OTK fully supports its co-owner and sister Emiru, and we stand by her side and admire her strength in coming forward and sharing her story. They clarified that Mizkif's relationship with OTK had already been terminated for reasons unrelated to the recent events, and that he held no stake in OTK or any of their other companies. But court documents would later reveal a different story. OTK had sent Mizkif a termination letter dated October 24th, 2025, the day before Emiru's stream. The letter cited his alleged threats at TwitchCon and announced they were reclaiming over 1 million shares of company stock. Asmongold, another OTK co-founder and one of the biggest streamers on the platform, spoke out repeatedly. He called Mizkif the aggressor and abuser. He said Mizkif should be in jail. Mythic Talent Management and King Gaming Labs, companies Mizkif had business relationships with, also terminated their contracts. Together, they demanded over $600,000 in management fees, claiming Mizkif had breached his agreements. More women came forward with their own allegations against Mizkif. Streamers including Kuko, Arya Saki, and Trisha Wang publicly accused him of harassment, assault, and insensitive comments. Adriana Lee, whose defamation case against Mizkif had been dismissed just months earlier, commented on the situation. In a viral video, she expressed that the pattern of behavior seemed consistent with what she had alleged years ago. For Mizkif, the empire he had helped build was crumbling around him, but he wasn't going down without a fight. November 3rd, 2025, 9 days after Emiru's stream, Mizkif filed a federal defamation lawsuit in Texas District Court. The defendants, Emily Shunk, also known as Emiru, Zach Hoyt, also known as Asmongold, OTK Media, Mythic Talent Management, and King Gaming Labs. The lawsuit made bold claims. Defendants Shunk, Hoyt, and OTK have, acting in concert, wrongfully and baselessly accused Ronaldo of serious criminal activity for no purpose other than to harm him, his reputation, and his business, and wrest from him control of the companies that he helped build. Mizkif claimed that Emiru and Asmongold knew their statements were false when they made them, that they coordinated the timing of their statements to maximize the injury inflicted on him, that they stood to benefit financially from his removal from OTK. The lawsuit accused Asmongold of defaming Mizkif on a near-daily basis since the allegations, enriching himself through advertising revenue and subscription fees from what Mizkif characterized as a smear campaign. Mizkif is seeking damages for reputational harm, lost earnings, and emotional distress. The exact amount has not been disclosed. As of January 2026, neither Emiru nor Asmongold has publicly responded to the lawsuit. Emiru has said she is pursuing restraining orders against Mizkif. No court date has been set. The legal battle is just beginning. So where does this leave us? Mizkif has lost his stake in the company he co-founded. He faces a potential restraining order. He's suing his former colleagues for millions. Emiru continues to stream. She remains a co-owner of OTK, but she's also now a defendant in a defamation lawsuit. OTK continues to operate, but the organization has been fundamentally changed. One founder gone over allegations in 2022. Another gone over allegations in 2025. Rich Campbell resigned in 2022 after his own accusations of sexual assault. The streaming community is left to process another cycle of allegations, responses, and legal threats. And the questions remain: what is accountability in the creator economy? When allegations are made publicly before any legal process, who determines the truth? When careers can be destroyed by a single stream, what protections exist for both accusers and the accused? This story has no clean ending. The lawsuit will take months, possibly years, to resolve. The truth of what happened between Mizkif and Emiru may never be fully known to the public. What we do know is this: the streaming industry continues to grapple with power dynamics, accountability, and the consequences of building empires on personal relationships. Mizkif survived one scandal in 2022. Whether he survives this one remains to be seen.